All right, welcome back. So, this time we're reacting to God's Hates Be Harder, brand new song, Van Nuys Hardcore, featuring the vocal stylings of Ring of Honor superstar Brody King. I still remember the first couple of times I saw Brody at a couple of shows, and it's just like this guy is an absolute mammoth with how tall he is. He's just colossal, and anytime you see him in the pit, you're just like, oh dear God, run. I just remember anytime I'd see him walking through, I'm just like, I'm just gonna go to the back. I'm not trying to die right now. But anyway, this is 5 years since their last release, and self-titled release, and released on March 12th. Ironically enough, also the day of my wedding. So I'm getting married on the same day God's Hate's releasing their self-titled, so early wedding present for me. So to God's Hate, thank you. I appreciate you helping me with that. But anyway, brand new single. I love the album artwork. It's just wonderful. Like, the best is like, you got the little mandolin is just trying to just get out of the way and just looks afraid for his life, and that's my favorite. And then I love the fire breathing Chinese lantern over there, Chinese lantern Cyclops. So not only is the lantern fire breathing, it is also a Cyclops. But we're not here to just look at album art, even though this is just incredible album art. We're here to listen to some music. So, what am I missing? The actual best part. The samurai Terminator. Terminator 2 is my favorite action movie of all time. So, again, God's Hate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, we're not here for looking at artwork. We're here for music. Without further ado, Be Harder by God's Hate. Let's do this.
Is that what happens to us? No time for friends. Only our enemies leave roses. Violent lives ending violently.
So immediately, that first song, I'm pretty sure they had to have sampled some sort of gun in there, and just immediately that drop, just ba 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 ba. Also, shout out to Colin Young for just ripping it on the drums with that. I love those ba 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 ra. Oh, this feet ra makes the Machine Guns kind of make more sense with it. But anyway, so let's take it back a little bit.
Violent lives ending violently.
This is just such a night and day difference with how Brody used to sound. Like in the early God's Hate stuff, like in 2014. Even at the time, I was just riding so hard on God's Hate, and just because of how different it was. But now you listen to this iteration of God's Hate. It's wild that was like what 7 years ago. But dang, this is hard. This is hard to sell. Anyway. just take a second to admire that snare? Like, that, I mean, wow. Oh, I know it's a pretty decently high-tuned snare, and I know the drum they use, or at least the one that Colin used when recording it. It's from God City Studios out in Salem. It's it's a God City titanium snare, and I've been trying to get one of those for the absolute longest time, or just a titanium drum or titanium snare. Just any of the God City ones. It was like the inspiration for any recording I wanted to do, because that snare just, it sounded like an absolute cannon whenever those hits go on any of Kurt Ballew's tracks. That snare is unbelievable. And then hearing it on here with the work that Taylor did with producing and mixing it is, wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. This is probably the best Taylor Young recording I've heard. And I know he's been around for a good while with doing tracking over around in Van Nuys, but this is easily one of the best mixes, if not his best mix I've heard him do. I think both of the Young brothers are doing vocals in it too, which is cool. I see the promo photos they were doing where it had both Colin and Taylor in there. I was like, okay, I know for a fact Taylor does or has done guitars with them, and then now they think they added I don't know the lineup they almost made. I don't know if they've done added, or they kept it 5-piece, or they made it to 6-piece now, but the backing vocals from Taylor behind the guitar, and then I think they're going to stick with Colin doing backing vocals on the drums. That's going to be gnarly to see once shows come back. That's going to rip. Nice little crescendo from Brody. Sounds like a NASCAR or like a motorcycle, which ironically enough, it reminds me more of the Terminator when he's going on the LA River and the semi's chasing after him. When he's got his shotgun one-handed, boom, turns it to cock it back up, boom, flips it, boom. Yes. This is going to be a lot of Terminator references in this, but I mean, why not? It's the best action movie ever made. Yeah, and I love the line, "Life is hard, be harder." That's, if you couldn't really summarize a better thing to go through 2020 with that, literally that phrase right there. It makes me wonder if Brody's ever going to come out to some of the new God's Hate for his Ring of Honor entrances. Just come in like that in the samurai gear, samurai Terminator gear in his entrances when you have this in the background. No one's going to want to fight him. I mean, the guy is colossal anyway. You're coming out to a song like this in full samurai Terminator gear. You just quit professional wrestling when you see Brody come in. Okay, Colin. That's okay. I like that. I gotta hear that again. Let's slow that sucker down. Let's hear that fill again. Ooh. Okay, like one more time. I gotta get the fill down. Okay, it's so so it's doing it. It's cool. Like when you do it when rather than just going linear, like from the snare to the top to the rack to the floor. It's cool to like throw it up when you're going snare, do a little one hit on the tom, bring it right back to the snare, do another hit, bring it back, just have some variety, kind of throw people off. I love it. That sounds gnarly as hell. I want to see it in full speed again. Oh. Ooh. And the thing is, a lot of guitar solos, like when you don't need to go full blown, like Slayer, Metallica, sort of just way over the top guitar solos. It's so perfect. Like it lines up so ideally with the rhythm. That's awesome. Like that. It's that. It lines up so well with the lead on there. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good. That is really smart songwriting, where you don't have to put it over the top guitar solo, but the better part of that is you have the rhythm follow you along with the guitar solo, so everything is meant to be there. So cool. That call and response with Brody to Colin, back to Brody. Oh, that call and response is just holy crap. I gotta hear that. Oh, what a I don't know if mosh calls are still a thing in this new in 2021. I remember God, like I know mid 2000 or mid 2010s everyone was doing mosh calls with it, but that is a gnarly one. I got to hear that call and response one more time and then I'm going to keep going. Okay. That was dope. I love you don't see you really never see it. Just it's such a small little nuance to throw a splash on there. You don't see it really in any hardcore bands, especially stuff that just sound like as unbelievably heavy like this. But when you have a splash come in, just and then nice little subdivision. That's a so it's cool. It's like bun two dun 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 then I'm like, okay. You kind of think, all right, we're gonna go back to how the song was when we first started it, but nope, taking it right back, just gonna pummel. pummel you right back into the ground. Love it. Nice. Yeah, I feel like that if that doesn't end up being Brody's entrance theme in Ring of Honor, I I don't because immediately right now that is an absolute just face smasher. I love it. It's so hard, so heavy. The mix is unbelievable. Again, kudos to Taylor. That is a dang good mix, and the songwriting unbelievable too. All the guitars were the guitars. You didn't need to be flashy with it, but the riffs were excellent, and that solo, it's not over the top, but it worked so perfect. And Brody, Brody King, hell yeah, this is those vocals, yeah, the vocals from Brody, and then having those calls and responses with Colin, with Taylor, and that call and response right before the breakdown. Oh my lord, that's just like you're waiting to just crank the stereo from like 10 to like 100 immediately. So yeah, God's Hate, God's Hate, self-titled, comes out on my wedding day, March 12th. Hell yeah, awesome stuff.